20 different menu choices, not to mention the so-called steak show, flames seen through the front window. The Tad Steakhouse chain tried to glamorize the working-class steak cafeteria style.
It's a last remnant of the authentic Times Square, so I heard it was closing and came up to have lunch.
Remember all those restaurants you loved as a kid? Ever worried your favorite restaurant might close? It's more common than you think. Most of your favorite restaurants are in danger of closing because of low margin proposals, inflation, and unstable economic conditions. Following is a list of restaurants that you might not be able to visit in 2024. Number 10. BCET and Mansky Pico Robertson. Mansky and its sister, BC Clet, have previously announced their closures. In 2022, Mansky, a restaurant renowned for its fine dining and Michelin-starred cuisine, opened its doors and began serving a sumptuous $225 tasting menu. Not to be forgotten is BC Clet, the small French eatery that swept across Sodo in 2021. But the owners of these restaurants, Ware and Margarita Mansky, now just have one in Los Angeles, the Amazing Republic. What will happen next for this talented culinary team? Number 9. Howard Johnson's. As you were beginning to believe that Howard Johnson's was no more, rumors started circulating that the last store had closed. Astute Yelp users have noted that the Howard Johnson's in Lake George, New York is still operating. Going back in time though, Howard Johnson's was the place to get fried clams and 28 different kinds of ice cream, all tucked away under its recognizable orange roof and weather vane. Throughout America, there were more than 1,000 Howard Johnson roadside outlets during their peak in the 1960s and 1970s. In the meantime, when Howard Deering Johnson founded a little drugstore in 1925, he laid the groundwork for the previous destiny. He had no idea that his obsession with soda fountains and his creation of a creamy, buttery ice cream would win over the palates and hearts of people throughout the country. Canada's coffee champ is a dump in the US. Let's find out. Number 8. Tim Hortons. When Tim Horton initially launched for business in Ontario in 1964, there were just two delicious donut options available: apple fritter and Dutchie. Nevertheless, Tim Horton is currently going through a difficult period, particularly in the US, as sales have decreased 17.7% over the last 4 years. It's evident that the chain's appeal is declining south of the border. However, don't write them off just yet. Over 80% of Canadians visit Tim Hortons at least once a month, despite the company's difficulties overseas. It makes sense that over half of Tim Hortons' US sites are positioned in close proximity to Canada. However, not everybody is praising them. Disappointed, one client said Tim Hortons should have stayed in Canada. What then is the issue with Tim Hortons' conflicting reviews? Has the quality declined, or are the Timbits and coffee not as nice as they once were? Remember those massive portions of mac and cheese and epic Reuben egg rolls? Ground Round is having a major setback too. Number 7. Ground Round. Ground Round opened as a Howard Johnson spin-off in 1969 with a goal of becoming the best place for sports fans in casual eating. However, did you know that Ground Round purposefully leaves out all reference to its Hojo's origins on its website? Ground Round had more than 100 sites at its height, but the business went through a difficult period and declared bankruptcy in 2004, which led to the sudden closure of over half of its eateries. Though hopeful franchises have made attempts to bring the brand back to life, Ground Round is still struggling and only a handful of its sites remain to this day. It serves as a melancholic reminder of its former prosperity. The cooks at Ground Round are renowned for their meals such as mac and cheese with bacon and chicken and Reuben egg rolls. Ground Round takes great pride in offering substantial portions at a time when portion sizes are decreasing. Fresh or frozen? Baja Fresh's disappearing act after joining Wendy's is a nightmare. Number 6. Baja Fresh. With its tasty and fresh Mexican food, Baja Fresh made a splash on the market in 1990. It had expanded to almost 300 sites in 21 states by 2002. But then, in 2002, Baja Fresh was purchased by Wendy's, which was a cruel turn of events. The chain started to dwindle, and in 2004, the majority of its stores started to close. The once thriving brand has faced several challenges since then. To further complicate matters, Baja Fresh has a history of abruptly leaving town. Ask the people of Arlington, Virginia, where a recent shutdown has left local media stunned and citizens shocked. Despite its difficulties, Baja Fresh prides itself on using only the freshest, healthiest foods on its website. They state that there isn't a can opener, microwave, or freezer in sight at any point. Does the rhetoric align with reality though? Baja Fresh no longer looks as fresh, some consumers complained. Hometown Buffets is also a disappearing staple. Number 5. Hometown Buffet. The narrative is the same whether you're referring to it as Ryan's Buffet, Old Country Buffet, Country Buffet, or Hometown Buffet. The rate at which these cherished buffet brands are vanishing is frightening. From hundreds of sites around the nation, the number shrank to just 65. That's correct. The number of buffets has rapidly decreased from hundreds to only 65. However, why is this decline occurring? After shutting down several occasions, the business declared bankruptcy for the third time in 2016. Regretfully, there's more stirring up than simply restaurant closures. The parent firm, Food Management Partners, has come under fire for how it handled its staff throughout these closures. Consider the incident of a general manager in Medford, Oregon, who was tasked with telling her personnel about the closure after receiving a text message at 7 in the morning. Pinkberry was once a frozen yogurt empire. Is it now facing a meltdown? Number 4. Pinkberry. Charlie Sin founded Pinkberry, which Oprah Winfrey later approved, and it swiftly rose to prominence as the place that trendsetters and celebrities went to. To be honest though, the experience was more important than the yogurt alone. After seeing success in West Hollywood, Pinkberry eventually expanded to 21 nations. Nevertheless, there were just 139 US sites left by 2015. Furthermore, despite optimistic plans to expand to Las Vegas, the brand never really took off there. Many think that Pinkberry may return to its former glory even after the company launched a special campaign to coincide with the third season of NBC's successful sitcom The Good Place, in which frozen yogurt plays a key role. However, the way things are going for them, Pinkberry is about to blow up. Is Atrium permanently gone, or will it return? And what will happen to Atrium next? Number 3. Atrium Los Angeles. On December 23, 2023, the hip restaurant abruptly shuttered its doors. It was well known for its international cuisine and stylish setting. However, what caused this unannounced shutdown? When Bolin and Jay Milken opened Atrium in 2018, it quickly became a favorite place for creative meals in an area that was lacking in high-quality eating alternatives. Days before Christmas, work members were taken aback by the announcement, even though there had been indications of a reopening in the new year. Don't worry though, Pinkies, Atrium's sibling lounge is still thriving. Red Robin is facing closures despite award-winning burgers. Number 2. Red Robin Gourmet Burgers. Red Robin is feeling the pressure and is discreetly shutting down locations all over the map because of dropping sales and rising labor expenses. 10 additional sites closed their doors in 2019 alone, and by the end of the year, all 5 eateries in Alberta, Canada had done the same. For the giant of hamburgers, it was a difficult moment. But hold on, Red Robin still has a lot to adore. Before it's too late, don't pass up the chance to tuck into one of their famous burgers. After all, their famous sandwich won the Zagat Award year after year. You should really get your teeth into it. The end of an era. Tad Steaks shuts down, leaving only one last location. Number 1. Tad Steaks. Having 28 locations in major cities, including Philadelphia, Chicago, New York City, and more, Tad's was a formidable force in its prime. Since 1957, this cafeteria-style restaurant, renowned for its straightforward approach to serving meat and potatoes, has maintained low costs. Let's face it though, the vintage red walls and the imitation Tiffany lamps are a bit dated. The West Coast site will be the last hold on Tad's legacy when neon lights go out across the nation. Folks, this marks the end of an era. Tad's original flame broiler, as founder Donald Townend famously referred to its sizzle and spectacle as a steak show, and it's evident that his idea has endured among guests for many years. That's all guys, we are as upset as you are. Let's wait for the good times. Subscribe to our channel for more information, and we'll catch you next time.